Dear audience, are you a heart that seeks peace? Then you are in the right place. On this channel, you will witness the inspiring stories of those who have converted to Islam from different religions. Each story is a story of a quest, a transformation, and a spiritual awakening. Join these journeys that warm your heart and raise your soul with the calling voice of the Adhan. Subscribe, because every story is a new beginning, and every beginning is a miracle.
Anna, a successful cardiologist in Munich, embarks on a journey to fill the spiritual void inside her. A Quranic verse given as a gift by a patient and a dream he had leads him to study Islam. Despite the reactions of her family and friends, Anna finds peace in the mosque and becomes a Muslim. Today, she inspires others by sharing her story on YouTube.
Ich bezeuge, dass es keinen Gott außer Allah gibt, und ich bezeuge, dass Mohammed sein Gesandter ist. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah.
Hey, I'm Dr. Anna Weber. Walking through Munich's snow-covered streets, I'd see neon lights reflecting off the hospital windows. I'm a 35-year-old cardiologist. In antiseptic-scented corridors, my footsteps echoed as I saved another life. My colleagues admired me, my patients were grateful, but deep inside, a silent wound was bleeding. Every night, I'd pace barefoot on my apartment's cold marble floor, clutching a coffee mug, staring at my reflection in the mirror, asking, what's the meaning of this life? Since childhood, I'd been passionate about science, microscopes, heart monitors. The sterile calm of operating rooms, they gave me confidence. But in recent years, that confidence was fading. After losing a patient, I sat in an empty ICU room, a heaviness pressing on my chest. Why does success feel so empty? One evening, I watched a documentary on TV. A Muslim doctor was sharing his struggle to save a child in a war zone. The calm in his eyes unsettled me. Where does that peace come from? I muttered. In that moment, I felt something was about to change. Do you think a single moment can transform a life? One morning, an elderly Muslim patient came to my hospital. His name was Khalid. He was battling a heart condition, but there was an odd serenity in his eyes. When his treatment ended, he handed me a small booklet with trembling hands. "This is my thank you," he said, smiling. Inside was a Quranic verse. Indeed, it is in the remembrance of Allah that hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. As I read it, my fingers traced the rough paper. A warmth spread through my chest. I thanked him and tucked the booklet into my bag, but it stayed on my mind all day. When I got home, I opened it again, in my dimly lit living room. The words felt like they were speaking straight to my heart. That night, I fell asleep, thinking about that verse. In my dream, I was in a mosque. The call to prayer rose from minarets, echoing through a garden bathed in golden light. The cool grass brushed my feet, and the scent of roses filled my nose. Tears streamed down my cheeks, and my heart felt lighter than it had in years. When I woke, my pillow was wet. "What was that?" I whispered. My heart was trying to tell me something. The next day, I started searching for videos about Islam on YouTube. One video stopped me, and my tracks on Imam's calm voice said, "Islam is the truth your heart seeks." Those words merged with the adhan from my dream, but my friends didn't get it. At a dinner, my best friend Lisa smirked and said, "Anna, you can't be serious. This is just a phase, right?" I set my fork down and went quiet. A storm raged inside me, but my hand reaching for the Quran translation on the table gave me strength. At the hospital, I shared my dream with my Muslim colleague Dr. Yusuf during a coffee break. He smiled and said, "That might be a sign." He shared his own journey to Islam. I was searching, just like you. He gave me a German translation of the Quran. That evening, I flipped through its pages and read Surah Al-Fatiha. Guide us to the straight path. Surah Al-Fatiha 1:6. Tears dripped onto the pages. This verse felt like the answer to a prayer I'd been whispering for years. For weeks, I read the Quran and studied the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I watched a TV program about a Muslim charity working in refugee camps. The familiar peace in the volunteers' eyes shook me again. But this journey wasn't easy. When my family found out about my interest in Islam, they were worried. My mom said over the phone, "This isn't your culture. Anna, why would you do this?" I retreated to my room, clutching the Quran translation to my chest. "This is my heart," I whispered. "Do you think a path can pull you away from family or bring you closer to yourself?" One Friday morning, I took a deep breath and walked toward a mosque in Munich. Snowflakes settled in my hair as my heart raced. When I pushed open the mosque's wooden door, the scent of incense filled my senses. I walked barefoot on intricately patterned rugs. The cool stone floor reminded me of the garden in my dream. The crowd was preparing for prayer. A woman smiled and handed me a headscarf. I felt the fabric in my fingersit was like finding a sanctuary. The imam asked me to recite the Shahada. With a trembling voice, I said, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah." The crowd's Amin echoed, and tears streamed down my face again. In that moment, I saw the golden light from my dream. My heart, for the first time in years, was whole. Do your mistakes define you, or do they pave the way for a new start? After becoming Muslim, my life changed. I still save lives at the hospital, but now it feels different. My heart is at peace. One evening, I decided to share my story on YouTube. In my first video, I said, "The Quran filled the void in my heart." My videos reached thousands, and in the comments, people shared their own searches. One Ramadan evening, sitting at an iftar table in the mosque, I looked at the smiling faces around me. Peace was right here, I thought. Do you think a journey changes just one heart or the whole world?